All right, hello and welcome everybody to the Smart Money Team Hangout. It's Wednesday, June the 2nd already. Can you believe it? It's June already, Lorenzo? I mean,
Man, it'll be
we
Christmas
are
here soon.
almost halfway through the year already. All right, but listen, my name is Charles Norm, the host of the Smart Money Team Hangout, and my co-host is,
Lorenzo Ferguson. How you guys
and
doing tonight?
we are super excited that you guys are joining us again tonight at our Hangout, home of reverse banking, or the strategic approach to rapid debt elimination. And we're going to share with you some stuff tonight uh, that the team is excited about. And so this is our team call. We try to do these at the very beginning of the month, where we just bring as many people on as possible in between all the busy schedules, just to kind of give a little bit of a shout out to everybody and kind of tell you what we got going on and why you want to be a part of our team because of all the exciting things that we are doing. So again, I want to tell you guys, welcome to Wealth Building Wednesday in the Smart Money Team Hangout. Now, usually what we do is we take a few minutes to do roll call. I know the stream is just catching up and probably we're just now coming across your news feed. I hope that you guys can see us and you hear us pretty good. But if you're out there and you are tuning in, no matter where you are tuning in from, East Coast, West Coast, and you want us to give you a shout out, please, below this video, all you have to do is just comment and tell us where you are, okay, where you are and where you are tuning in from, you know, what state, what city, whatever, and we will give you a shout out live on the air, okay? All right, so now, in the back room, we've got several members of our team that are anxiously waiting to get on. And so we'll give you guys a second to kind of tune in. Lorenzo, you got anything you want to chime in? Did I miss anything before we get going?
Man, I think you're good. Let's get it going. Let's get it cracking, as they say.
We really do appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We know there's a lot going on. We've got the playoffs in the NBA. If you're a sports person, you got, there's just a lot of stuff happening this week. And so we just appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedule to check us out, okay? So hopefully you guys will enjoy what we have for you tonight. Robert, hey, Robert, you supposed to be on the call with us, man. What are you talking about checking in from Memphis? You supposed to be on the call. You're on the link. Beth, you also are supposed to be on the call. Why are you checking in, saying hello? You're supposed to be on the call. Check out the link and come into the room and let's talk. All right. So anyway, guys, we appreciate you coming on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a lot of our team members that are on the call right now. And let's see, we've got several of them. Looks like Sabrina walked away for a second, so let's go. We got now. And I see more in the waiting room, but we'll start with you guys. Okay, so let's just open it up as a panel right here. And looks like you got a little feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Is that coming from you, Kendall, or Renzo?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Is it me?
it might, maybe it was.
It wasn't you, Lorenzo. Charles, it sounds like you got some feedback.
Do I got some feedback going on? Oh, where's it coming from? I don't know. Don't have. Let me turn my mic off and mute myself. How about now?
I think you're good now.
You guys
Much
still
better.
here?
Yeah,
Well-
much better.
Okay. Well,
Well, it's back.
there's Robert. What's going on, Robert?
What's going on?
Yeah, it sounds like it's coming through somebody's speaker, but my speakers aren't even on. So
Yeah, does somebody have the sound up on the broadcast or something?
yeah, is somebody running it through Facebook or something on your thing as well. It could be echoing from the page.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So if you're running this on YouTube or Facebook, check it out and turn the volume down or mute it, and it will go off. It sounds like that. But anyway, all right, we'll try to get through and figure out what's going on with the echo here in a second. But we got quite a few guys and gals on tonight. And so what we want you guys to understand is what the Smart Money team is all about and why we want you to join our crusade against poverty and debt in America. We are looking to eliminate debt and poverty, and we're going to do it one individual, one family, one community at a time. So we are determined to spread what we are doing to help you eliminate debt to all 50 states, okay? And we are super excited about the momentum that we have created and the education that we're providing for people, because, you know, it's unfortunate, and I'm sure all of you would agree, that we really don't get the financial education that we should get in school, right? I mean, we don't get it in high school, we don't necessarily get it in college, and we definitely do not get it in any other form. And if our parents don't really pass it down to us, which many of them don't, we end up learning the hard way. And so what we have created here is a very, very, very powerful educational process, number one. And then combined with the technology that we have, we are introducing people with a really a strategic way to eliminate your debt really fast. It doesn't matter whether it's a mortgage, student loan, auto loan, credit card debt, personal business loans, it does not matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow some of the team to just quickly tell their own personal story of what our program and service does and is doing for them, as well as the folks that we've introduced it to. All right. And then a little while into the call, we're going to also talk about our crusade against debt and poverty and why you want to be a part of our team. All right. So that you can really earn a lucrative job replacing income while you're freeing other people from debt bondage. And this is, I'm really telling you, this is exciting stuff. Sherry, hey, Sherry, you can come on the call, Sherry, if you're around. Let's go. Click on the link in the Hangout and come on, be a part. Sherry's also a member of our team. All right, so having said that, still see a little bit of echo. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, Kendall, can you try muting real quick? See if it clears up.
Well, let's start with Robert while Kendall is doing that. Robert, because I know you got to jump off, because Robert's actually going to be talking to somebody tonight that is interested in getting rid of their mortgage debt and all that. So Robert, tell us.
Haircut too.
Say again.
He got a fresh haircut. He ready.
Yeah. Robert's clean. Hey, Robert is clean. He ready. He is available. Hey, Lorenzo, while Robert is talking, can you go into the Hangout and kind of tag Beth so she can see the link in order for her to come on?
All right, I'm on it. Let me do that.
All right, appreciate it. So Robert, talk to us, buddy. Tell us why you were excited about being a member of Smart Money Group and how this powerful cutting edge technology we have is helping people, specifically starting with how it helped you.
Okay, so I'll start with myself first. So, I got remarried about 3 years ago, and between us, we got 8 kids, ranging from 27 all the way down to 15. So we got a couple in college, couple in the service, couple kind of everywhere. Not enough of them out of the house yet, but we're working on it. But anyway, but dealing with, I was looking for a way to kind of make the finances work. My wife, she wants to leave her job, but we can't do that while we have all this debt. I came across the Smart Money Group, and man, when I sat down and watched all the videos, it's things but when they're explained in such a simple way, it just makes perfect sense. So got in, talked to Lorenzo, and then talked to Lorenzo and Charles, and I think my last update, I just was on there actually today, and I'm going to have my house, my car, credit cards, everything paid off in 5.7 years. And that's actually decreased. I've been using the program about a year. It actually decreased. It was like 6, almost 6.9, with some things have changed and happened. So, had a little additional income come in. So just having a way to tell me what to do with the extra money I had done many other programs, but this one just makes sense to me. It not only has helped me know when I'm going to get out of debt, it actually helped me budget, kind of know where I was spending my money, and that's just kind of a side benefit of having it. So in doing that, I remember the first night talking to Charles, actually the second meeting, like, hey man, how do I get into sharing this with people? Because people need to know about this. And I've had the opportunity to share it with a few friends of mine. They just bought a big old house, a $400,000 house, and they're going to be paid off in 10 years out of debt. So just the financial freedom that comes with it. My wife is actually quitting her job July 2nd. Going to start her own adventure in wedding and event planning. And we wouldn't be able to do it if we didn't already have a plan to get out of debt. So I think really just exciting for me that it allows me to take control of my finances, and in 5 years, all that money will be working for me and my family. So definitely looking forward to that day, and then excited to share it with everyone. Just the opportunity. I got to jump off here probably after I get done talking to jump on with someone else. So hopefully we can help them get on the same path to get out of debt and, eliminate this debt, one household at a time.
Robert, that is awesome, man. Did I hear you say again, just out of clarity, did I hear you just say that you're going to be paying off your mortgage in under 7 years and all your other debt?
Under 7 years, 5.7 years to be exact.
5.7. And you had how many years left on your mortgage?
When I 28.3, something like that.
Now, for those of you who are listening and tuning in for the first time, I want you to understand what Robert just said, right? He's eliminating about 20-something years, right? Y'all help me with the math, right? About at least 23 years off his mortgage debt, because he's going to be paying everything off in 5.7, and then also other debt that goes with it, right, Robert?
Absolutely, yeah. I got a car, a couple credit cards, and a big old nasty personal loan that I'm paying off. So, and the crazy thing with that is, we talk about in the program, it just uses the extra money left over. I'm not having to eat ramen every day. I'm not having to, do peanut butter and jelly every day. Of course, sometimes we do that when you got 10 people in the house, but that's just normal. But
yeah.
But no, I'm not having to do that. It really is with just the money I have left over, and just knowing what to do with that. I think that's the thing. A little bit, and I say a little bit of money, when you got 8 kids and all that, you don't got a lot left over. But the little bit I got left over, I'm able to, have a purpose for it.
Hey, man, listen, I appreciate you sharing that, because there's somebody out there who's probably listening to this broadcast or going to hear this broadcast who has a family dynamic very similar to yours, and is probably saying, wait a minute, you mean I can pay off all this debt and I have all these kids and all that and still be able to manage, my family and my absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I want to ask you guys this. Appreciate you sharing that, Robert. And I know you got to hop off whenever you do. We appreciate you doing that. And I hope you help the next person that you're going to be talking to be able to put them in a position as well to pay off whatever debt that they have. But now, hey, all of you, team, I got a question for you. Okay? The question I have for you is this: why in the world do you think people do not actively pursue paying off their mortgage?
Oh, that's simple. That's real simple. That is,
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Being a real estate agent, working with clients actively buying homes or selling homes. A lot of people honestly want to follow the bank's plan because it's already laid out for them and it's easy. All they got to do is make the payment and everything else is taken care of. Everything else is taken care of. I've had clients tell me, I'm going to pay an extra $100 a month on my mortgage. That'll save me, 10 years of payments, or I'm going to pay my mortgage every other week. That way I make an extra mortgage payment, and I'm going to pay it off. And then you just got some people that they don't care about paying off the house because they don't think they're going to live long enough to pay off the house. And they say, when I'm gone, the kids can do what they want with it. A dead man pays no bill. So I've heard a variety of reasons why folks don't want to pay off the house. And then a lot of times now you get people buying houses, especially with it being a hot seller's market right now. They're paying $25,000, $30,000 over asking right now. And they are saying that this is a starter house. So they don't intend to live there very long. They know they're going to sell within 5 to 10 years. So they have no interest in paying it off, even if you tell them, hey, man, in 10 years, you could possibly have it paid off. And everything you make on the sale is 100% profit. But I ain't worried about paying it off. I mean, it's silly, but people actually say those things.
No, I 100% agree with you. And listen, I've heard a lot of those myself. Go ahead, Lorenzo.
Pick me.
Go ahead.
You know me, I'm kind of a numbers guy, and one of the ones that blow my mind is, you know what I'm gonna say, Charles? Oh man, I gotta get this tax write-off, this mortgage interest write-off. And I'm like, man, if I wasn't a nice Christian guy, man, I'd be just wanting to do one of these little cartoon things and blow my hand up real big and just, because I'm like, I think I said this on one I called last week or the one before, Charles, but so I'm like, you're basically saying rather than pay your home off and keep the entire dollar, you rather give the bank $1 so they can give you back 10 cents. And I'm like, you know, I'm not a physicist or astronaut or a PhD professor in mathematicology or whatever, but if somebody is going to take $1 from me just to give me back 10 cents, man, that don't make sense. I mean, like you had Robert on the call. He can do it. Look, with that 90 cents, he got enough to give each of the 8 kids 10 cents, and him and the wife can keep 10 and split it. So it's mind-boggling to me why somebody would want to do that. So I just wanted to point that out, you know, because some folks don't understand that that's what's happening with this mortgage write-off, and they're falling into the bank's trap, right? What the bank wants you to do and wants you to think. You're actually getting some benefit from this tax write-off.
Well, you're absolutely right. Those are all things that I've heard too, Lorenzo. And I you know, again, I think that most people, for whatever reason, are brainwashed to believe that you can't pay your house off. You shouldn't pay your house off.
Facts.
Tax refunds and tax, you're saving money with your taxes and interest by having interest. But if you really take a look at that amortization schedule, you're going to realize you're paying the bank a lot of interest over time, and you ain't really saving anything when it comes to your taxes, right?
About 82% of the original loan is what you pay in interest.
Yeah, and people think that is smart. They think that's smart. You know, I ain't the smartest math person in the world, but that ain't too smart.
Look, and you like me, you know, we Christian brothers, so we don't like using the 4-letter words. But when you say a lot of interest, that's the very, very, very politically correct way of saying they're paying the bank a whole lot of extra interest. And I'll let the viewers and the guys on the guys and ladies and gentlemen on the panel fill in whatever other colorful words they want to throw in there to replace a lot. But like Bobby Dale said, 82%. And I mean, you have some people, they'll go, well, Lorenzo, well, Kendall, I just refinanced my house and I'm down to 2.75. And you can look, you don't even have to take my word. There's lots of free online calculators out there that'll tell you what your tip is. And to me personally, I think the banks are like slapping us in the face when we sign these mortgage papers, right? Because they could have figured out another phrase for that besides tip, but it actually stands for total interest percentage, but it is actually a huge tip you're giving to the bank. And I did numbers for someone recently, and I think at 2.75% interest rate, they were still paying 46% of that mortgage balance in interest. Now, you know, I consider myself, I go out when we could go out and eat before the pandemic or whatever, I get a good meal or whatnot. You know, my wife is happy, smiling, desserts are good, the kids are happy. You know, I'm full, I'm ready to go home and just lay down and take a chill pill. But 46%, you know, I might do 46% on a $200 meal or something for me and the family. But 46% on $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, and I got kids I'm trying to get through school and college. And no, man, I can't do it. Not right now. No, can't do it. Can't do it. That's just not smart.
Yeah, so Lorenzo, you are hitting the hammer on the head of that nail, man. Listen, whenever I'm talking to people, I always use that. And a lot of people don't understand that total interest percentage. And it's just funny that the acronym that the financial institutions came up with is TIP, TIP.
Right.
And then when you look at the TIP, right, most of the people that I've been talking to, especially if they just refinance or they have a fresh 30-year mortgage, man, that thing could be anywhere from 60% to 80% or more that they're giving a tip to the bank. And when I talk to them, I often ask them, when you go out to eat, do you give that, much in 80%, 70%, 60% as a tip to your waiter or waitress? No, they don't do that. I say, well, you know what? And we don't even do that for the best service, right? Even in the holidays when we're feeling a little bit generous, you still aren't going to give somebody 60, 70, 80% of a tip, right? We don't do that, but yet still we do that as common practice with our mortgage, with our car loans, with student loans and everything else. It makes absolutely no sense to me why people think that is okay, other than lack of financial education. We got to do better. We have to do better. And that's one of the reasons why our team and our message, I believe, is a powerful, powerful message. And I just think that we have to continue this fight in order to get this information out in front of people, whether they want to hear it or not, okay? Because all we want to do is save one individual at a time. That's it. One individual at a time. Saved all of us, and we know we can save some other people. So we just have to continue to push that message. And so the other thing that is interesting when I talk to people about the amortization schedule and all that, there are some people that have a basic understanding, right? That if they pay a little bit extra, right, they can eliminate a little bit of time off their mortgage or their car loan and all that. So there are some people that understand a little bit about that. But the vast majority of people have no idea what an amortization schedule is or how much interest that they're going to be giving back to the bank, or for that matter, even the terms of their loan agreement. You get that, Lorenzo, when you're talking to folks, it's like they haven't pulled out a statement. They don't know what this is. They don't know what the interest rates are. They don't have a clue.
I had a lady I got on with. She had, I think, 12 months of mortgage statements just in the mailer they send them out in the envelope. Mm-hmm. And so when I started, explaining to her, the amount of her monthly payment that was going towards interest, and she opened one of them, oh man, I thought she was going, if she could, she was probably going to call the bank and snatch them through the phone. She was like, I'm paying, I think something like $1,800 a month she was paying, and $1,400 of it was going towards interest. She's like, man, I'll never pay this house off. I say, oh, you pay it off in the 30, but you're gonna pay a whole lot of interest. And then the other thing, she shared with me, I mean, I know this is kind of off of the topic that you mentioned, Charles, but it's still relevant, right? Is the people are not aware of the different mortgage vehicles that are out there. When you look at a VA loan versus an FHA loan versus a conventional loan, and the fact that the FHA loan, we always feel like, well, the government is doing us a favor. They're giving us, you don't have to bring anything to the closing, no money down, whatever. And they're doing that because they have you set up to where you're paying this mortgage insurance premium for the entire loan. If it's a 15-year, 30-year, and that mortgage insurance is $200-$300, you're paying that from day one or payment one all the way through 360. And when you take $200 and multiply it times 360, that's a whole lot of extra cash you could have had going towards your principal balance at some point in time. And you would have had it if you had a conventional loan where that mortgage insurance falls off after you own 22%. But a lot of people just don't know, and it's all about educating people and helping them to get into a better situation than they're currently in.
Oh, you're absolutely. The PMI is a huge thing, and I agree. Bobby, were you finna chime in on that? Say something about that?
Yes, the PMI insurance is something that a lot of buyers and homeowners are completely unaware of. And it is definitely based on what kind of loan you have. And most people are oblivious to it. They just know how much they pay and that it's due by the 15th of the month. And that's all that they focus on. And when you run the numbers for someone and you ask that question specifically, how much of your mortgage is going towards escrow and how much is going to PMI, and they're like, well, what is that? And you have them go get a statement. Like Lorenzo said, I thought I was going to get cut. If we would have been in the same room, I might have had to defend myself because they realized that the $1,500 a month that they're paying, only $200-300 is going towards principal.
Very small percentage.
And there goes that 82% on average that you're paying to interest that I referred to earlier, that they have no clue about. And when this particular person called the bank, in just 2 years, they had already paid like $25,000 in interest. In 2 years.
It's ridiculous. But you just mentioned a point, and we talk about PMI and some of the other hidden things, and they're not even hidden. The banks, they tell us what they're going to do. It's sort of like a robber coming to you and say, I'm telling you, I'm going to take your wallet and your watch and all your spare change, right? And they're telling us they're going to do it. And we just be like, okay, well, here it is, right? So they're not even trying to hide it. It's just the fact that we don't realize what's going on. So like, you've been robbed and you don't even, wait a minute, did that jerk really just take my wallet or my purse? Or you know, and you know, you go home and after a while you realize I can't pay for nothing because I've been robbed. So many years down the line, after you've been paying all that interest, then you start to kind of wonder and be like, oh, so what really happened when I signed those closing papers? And that's what we're trying to tell people. You have to wake up. Folks, you have to wake up. Now, one of the key things that I think is the problem that many of you out there who are watching this broadcast need to understand, it's not the debt that's the issue. Most people, if you borrow money, and if you only had to pay that money back, you'd be okay. Like Lorenzo, if you said, Charles, can I borrow $100 from you? And I said, no problem. Pay me back $100 next week. You could probably deal that, right?
Yep.
But if you say, Charles, can I borrow $100 from you? And say, no problem. Pay me back $1,000 next week. You're going to look at me like I got a horn going outside my neck, right?
No, man,
but I'm going to tell you, no, Lorenzo, that's interest. You owe me interest. I'm going to get $900 of interest from you for borrowing that $100. Well, as a friend, you're going to look at me like you want to slap me. But that's what the bank does with us when we sign the car loans, when we sign a student loan, when we sign our mortgage loan. That is what they're doing. And we are okay with that. We have been brainwashed to believe it's okay. They are masterful at a couple of things. One, keeping us focused on the interest rate and keeping us focused on the fact that we can afford that low monthly payment. Can we afford it? And the sleight of hand is, don't worry about how long it's going to take you to pay this off.
Facts.
And don't worry about how much interest you're going to pay me over the course of this 30 years.
Fact duo.
But the thing that I tell people is, it's almost like you're signing a life sentence. 30 years is a long time. Think about it. Who wants to go to jail for 30 years without parole? That's the majority of your life, right? And don't let that happen. And guess what? If you go into jail, like most people do, right, at over 30, that's you're going to be 60, 65 years old before you can get out. That's your life. That's a life sentence, right? So for all of you that are looking at this broadcast who have a mortgage right now and you're over 40, you have a life sentence. And if you don't do anything about that life sentence, then you're going to die, you're going to perish in jail, basically. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to everybody.
Oh yeah, you making a URP then, upper room plans by the time you get out.
The amortization schedule, my friends, is the issue. The amortization schedule is the key and fundamental document that you have to understand. But here's the thing. You may understand a little bit of it. I pay a little extra and I'm going to pay things off. But what you really don't understand is that paying the right amount at the right time can eliminate thousands and thousands of dollars in unnecessary interest payments that you would have been given to the bank. Right? The trick is the amortization schedule. And we have the technology, a program that we are all using that will help anyone with debt that has amortization schedule. Okay. Eliminate that debt in record time. There is no reason, no earthly reason to sit here and watch this broadcast or hear from one of our team members and continue to pay all that unnecessary interest. I kind of say this, and then I'll turn it over to one of you guys again. It's sort of like, and I give this analogy all the time. You're in the market for a smart TV, and you go to Walmart, you see this smart TV that you want for $1,500. Okay, $1,500, nice 70-inch flat screen TV, does everything you want to do. All right, you can pay for it, so you go and buy it. Well, what if you found out that down the street at Best Buy, you can get that same exact TV for half the price, for $750? Are you telling me that you would not want that $750 TV? You would still pay $1,500? If that's you, then everything that we just exit out this broadcast, because you are operating on the wrong playing field. Okay, your math don't add up. All right, you like spending money. And if you like spending money in a way that you're careless and reckless with your money, this broadcast is not for you. Because I can't imagine anyone who knowingly could get that TV for half price would pay full price for it. All right. So if that's you, then shame on you, because you really need to go back to basic math 101. All right. But for those of us who understand that it's better to get a discount, so that $750, I can do something else with it, spend it with my family, go on vacation, whatever else I might want to do, but I still got the item I wanted. That's what we're trying to say. You got the house that you want, right? But you ain't got to give the bank all that extra interest that they want from you. You do not have to tip or over tip the bank. You don't have to do it, right? We have a solution for you. And each one of the people on this panel has the solution. They're using the solution, and they can tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get a discount. All right. Now, if you don't like discounts and you just like spending money and wasting money, then this ain't for you. All right. But for those of you who want to change your life because you want some extra funds, maybe to help you retire early, maybe to help you, go to college and get the higher education that you want, or maybe it's not even for you anymore. Maybe it's for your kids or your grandkids, right? Then those of you who are listening to this broadcast need to get back with one of the team members that you see on this call, or maybe they're not even on the call right now, but they've been talking to you and they're sharing this broadcast with you. You need to get back with them and say, what is it that I need to do? Charles talking about paying full price versus paying half price. What does I need to do? Would you rather pay all 30 years for your mortgage, or would you rather pay off your house in 5 to 7 years, along with your car, your student loan, your auto loans, and everything else? That is what we're trying to tell you. Be smarter with your money. Be smarter, because the money you save, you can use to build wealth and use it for your family or whatever else you want to do. Stop giving the money away to the bank. Somebody else tell me what this program and what this service has done for you, or someone you have introduced it to.
I'm trying to be quiet.
Yep. Here I go. Can you do? Can you hear me? Okay. Hey y'all, how you doing? So I just called Lorenzo today because I got really excited. So I'm doing my bills and putting everything in there, and I said, I was wondering what my debt was going to be, because I had a date on there that said that I was going to have this big payment, that I was going to eliminate debt and interest. And oh my God, I looked down and I saw 3 debts that would be paid off. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my, let me look to see, is this real? My son's student loan, my credit card, and I think the other one was like his car, my son's car. Like all three of them at one time. And I'm like, I know they tell me to put this money here, and I saved $27 here, and I just keep on putting $6 over here and $35 here, and I wasn't sure what it was doing, but I just followed it like the GPS. But when it said, hey, on August 1st, all of these three are going to be gone, I couldn't have did it without the program. So I am absolutely ecstatic, because my son's been paying like this student loan debt for 5 years, and it's still more than what he originally paid, what he borrowed. Like, how is that possible? How is that possible? But again, when you don't know, you don't know. You really don't. If you don't know how to bank like the banks, or know their secrets and how they bind you and keep you in debt, you don't know. But once you start looking and seeing and following the directions and actually watching how your money move and things, it is, wow, it's amazing.
Man, pass the collection, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Pass the offering, please. Doors open.
Thank you. Right? I'm telling you. It's amazing. Thank you.
So Sabrina, you said a couple of things that I think some other folks out there who are parents that have kids in high school or in college, that's money.
Yes.
Right? That's
a lot of money.
That's exactly a lot of money, because kids are trying to, they're trying to make their way in the world, and they need us to support them. So even when you may have done everything right with your finances, if you have forgotten to plan for your children, which a lot of us do forget, then it's going to hit you when it gets to them college years, because guess what? That college that they want to go to costs money. Right?
A lot of money.
And if you haven't put some kind of fund or put money aside for that, or they're not getting the scholarships, then there's this thing called the Parental Plus loan. All right, let me tell you, that is you as a parent co-signing for a loan for your child to be able to go to school. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let me tell you, if you, all of us who have gone to college, we know what student loans are like. All right. It is the biggest, for lack of a better word, scam out there. And the reason why I say that is because most people deal with student loan debt 5, 10, 15 years out of being out of school. You're still dealing with it because you defer the loan, you defer the loan, you defer the loan, you defer the loan. And all along while you're deferring that loan, trying to get yourself a job and get established, guess what's happening? There's this thing called interest that's accumulating, more and more interest. And Sabrina just said something that I think a lot of people out there can relate to when it comes to student loan. You borrowed one amount, and when you look back and it's time to pay back, guess what? You paying a whole different another amount because of all the interest that has accumulated since you borrowed that money. That is what keeps a lot of people from getting married, having children, starting a family, buying the first home that they want, and building wealth, because they have that debt. And student loans are atrocious, right? You need the higher education. You want the higher education, but it comes at a significant price, right? Hey, I bet y'all can tell them the answer. We got a solution, don't we?
Yes.
We got a solution for them, right?
Oh, yes.
If you're dealing with student loan debt and all this
Yes, we do have
we got a solution for you.
Yes.
If you're tired of paying all that extra interest, we got a solution for you. And Sabrina just gave a very powerful testimony and just told you in a couple months she's gonna have, and they've been talking, and they've been, struggling with this debt for 5 years now, and they're gonna have it all done, right?
Yes.
They're gonna have it done. They're gonna have it done, and she didn't have to go out and get 2 or 3 other jobs to do it.
And no refinance.
And
because everybody wants you to refinance. Hey, refinance your student loan debt, refinance that parental debt. You can refinance. And I'm like, I'm not refinancing nothing.
Looky here.
Eliminating. I'm not refinancing nothing.
Look here. Those of you who are out there and you heard the word that she just said, refinance, just understand. Refinancing means one thing and one thing only. It means resetting the mortgage or loan clock. Advantage Bank. Advantage Bank, for those of you who watch tennis, Advantage Bank, okay? It's not an advantage to you, it's an advantage to the bank. Advantage Bank. Beth, go ahead. You had something? You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was working at it. Talking about refinancing. We had used some equity from our home for some investments and kind of went south. So we ended up thinking that, well, we'll just refinance it again. Be smart, because the interest rates had gone down, right? We didn't know what Charles teaches here about that reset of the clock. And I was so frustrated because I was like, why is this going slower than what we were doing before? And when I met Charles and he taught us about this principle of the reset on the clock, it was, I was pretty angry, actually. I was angry at myself. I was angry that I didn't know this, because as a home economics teacher, we should be teaching our kids these things. And as a homeschool mom, I wanted my kids to know these things so they didn't get trapped in these kinds of things. And I'm, I tell everybody, I said, don't go refinancing. Don't refinance. You'll be sorry. So I just wanted to step in on with that and share. But with the program, now we paid off that refinance 2 years ago, this coming July. And now we're using the program to use our assets in a smarter way to grow our income and to grow our assets. And it's really exciting to be able to be on the other side of that, because we paid off that new refinance in 7 years total. So from the 30-year refinance we had, it was gone in 7 years. So there's no reason really to refinance when you have this program, because it can work so much better than any refinance program out there.
You nailed it, Beth. I mean, everybody that's listening, I hope you heard what Beth just said. All right. Refinancing is a trap by the bank. All the bank wants to do is keep you in debt as long as possible to keep milking interest from you, because it's a business. It's a business. I mean, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to make money from you. All right. So lower interest rates, tempting. Remember, the bank wants you to focus on a couple things: lower interest rate, lower monthly payment. That's all they want you to focus on, because they don't want you to focus on the long-term effects of the interest that you're going to be paying over time. And if you have been paying on your house 5-7 years already, you go back and refinance, shame on you, because you have given the bank an extraordinarily big tip, and then they get to reset the mortgage clock and start asking for more interest from you again up front. It's sort of like being an Olympic racer, right? And you are running a race where you have 4 laps. All you need to do is take 4 laps. You're on lap 3, and you're rounding the bend. You're getting ready to go into lap 4, and someone tells you you got to start all over. You'd be mad, especially if you are, you can see the finish line. It's in sight, and you got to go start all over again. You'd be frustrated. You'd be mad, and you're upset. But a lot of us do that anyway. Why? Why would you do that? Other than lack of financial knowledge. And that's what the Smart Money team is doing. We are coming to you and sharing solutions with you. There's no need for you to give all that extra money to the bank. All right. So refinancing is a term that you should let go in one ear and out the other. All right. Do not do it. If you can afford your monthly payment, do not do it. All right. Now, are there going to be situations where you might need to refinance? Yes. If you're about to lose your home, please do not, sit up here and say, Charles told me not to refinance. Do whatever you need to do to keep your home. Modification, refinance, whatever. If you got to get that payment down, right? But for those of you who are just being, silly, and I say silly because you just saw, oh, well, I've got a 2.25 interest rate and I want to get it down to 2. Come on. All right, really? All right. I remember as a real estate investor, I remember when a 6.9 or 7.00 interest rate was normal, and we thought that was a great interest rate. And you guys are running to the bank to try to get 3% and under. Come on now. It can be done. Trust me. All right. Now, having said that, Kendall, you ever heard you chime in, bro? Tell everybody what's going on with you and your stuff, man, because I know your numbers look good.
Yeah, well, I was at a point where I had 2 girls in college, and so of course, money was tight. We thought we had enough to get them started, be able to pay for the majority of their college, and that wasn't the case. So we refinanced, and so after that, of course, a year or 2 later, we're in the pandemic. But I started the program a little bit over a year ago, and I remember my numbers were ran the first time, and this is why I am so excited about the program, because my initial numbers had me at 8.2 years to pay off my mortgage, car, credit cards, other personal loans that I had. But then when I actually went in, put my numbers in the system, it actually was 6.7. And because of the pandemic, I wasn't commuting as much. I wasn't putting enough gas in my tank. So now you're talking about a year later, my number went from 6.7. Now I'm at 4.7. So in less than so right around a year, I went from 6.7 to 4.7. Now, y'all can't see, all y'all see is just my face. You can't see my feet doing a happy dance right now because y'all just don't know how excited I am about what's going to happen. So I'm real excited about it. And the thing that I love about it is basically what Beth said, and I think that's so awesome, is it just shows you how easy it is. It takes all the guesswork out of it and it makes it so simple. And I think that's the part about it that just is so amazing, is you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be, like you said, all these PhDs and everything else. Just do what the plan tells you. And by you doing what the plan tells you, you see the results. I think if anything else, that excites anyone to notice and realize that their debt is going down. And, I've been in state and federal government for almost 24 years, and I deal with money on a daily basis, millions of dollars. But when you see your own debt going down at a rate that you did not anticipate it was going to be at, that's exciting. That's exciting for anybody.
Yes, sir. Man, that gave me chill bumps. All of your stories give us chill bumps because of the fact that it is real, it is proven, and it works. And the fact of the matter is that if we know where we were before this program came along, right? And we know the track that we were on, and no matter what we did, we were not going to get ahead like we wanted to. And then all of a sudden we have this miracle come through, and now you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Bobby, we finna say something?
Yes, to chime in off what Kendall said, I actually get excited for the account to account transfers when you set the goals of how much you want to save for whatever it is you want to do. And I don't pay attention to how much debt I'm eliminating. I pay attention to those account transfers. When I see those little red arrows, transfer X amount to this account, because we have a goal now so that we can finish our basement, and we're saving the money versus taking out a loan like we were originally planning to pay for it. So Every time I see those red arrows and transfer money to this account, see, that's when my feet get to moving, Kendall, not when we paying off the debt. Because, the account transfers are saving us money and it's actually gaining us, I think, like, 4-5 cent interest instead of paying the interest, and even with one of the clients that I was working with last week, once I got them all set up and we got to the action plan and they saw right away how the program was prompting them to shift money around and to build their emergency fund. This client in particular, she actually told me, she's like, well, wait a minute. I got another account that I didn't tell you about. Why not? Well, there's no money in that account right now. I want to build that account up too. And we went back and we added in that account and we just set up a small goal of $500. And she's like, wait a minute, next month I'm going to have $500 in this account. I haven't had no money in this account in over a year. So I think it's the small goals that I pay attention to the most when I see those account transfers for a goal that we have set aside or a goal that you set personally while paying off your debt. Because even though we're saving, $30,000 to finish the basement, we're still paying off all of our debt, saving $30,000. And my number right now is 6.9 years.
Ooh.
We started off at 9 years. We started off at 9 years. I got a raise in December. My wife got a raise in December. And all of the extra money we've been making because of the program is like, okay, we're not just going to blow it. We're going to use it wisely and just tell the program we got it and let it direct us. We went from 9 years down to 6.9 years in less than 1 year, all while saving $30,000. So without it, I don't know how we could have did it.
Time for another collection.
Yeah, listen. Bobby said a couple of key points, and I know we're getting short on time, but I got to touch on something Bobby said, and there's a couple things he said. Number one, he talked about the little things that we don't pay attention to with our finances that make a big difference. The little things, all right, and because he was paying attention to the little things with the system, he's able to not only eliminate debt, but still do major projects. And, I talk to people all the time. And one of the things that when I'm talking to them, I think everyone struggles with this, who's trying to pay off their mortgage or whatever debt they might have on their own. And that is, how do you pay this debt off, make these extra payments, and still be able to save money? Because the trade-off is, if I'm going to pay extra on my mortgage or my student loan or my car loan, I ain't got no money to save. Can't do it. When the truth of the matter is, you can do it, but you need to have a system. You need to have something guiding you. And one of the things that I'm very proud about what this system has done for me is the fact that it has allowed me to eliminate debt at such a rapid rate and build my accounts up at the same time. And I know I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself, because I would have been making all kinds of wrong decisions about what to pay on and how much to pay and all that kind of stuff. And what's great about this, and especially when I'm demonstrating what this can do, and I'll take people through a scenario and show them, hey, did you see how the system just told you, if you had this extra money, that it's going to go on the student loan and the mortgage and the MasterCard here? Yeah. I said, there's a lot of people that said, I got this extra $5,000. I'm going to put it all on my car.
Yep.
Right. Or I'm going to put it all on my house. When mathematically, that was actually the wrong thing to do. That was the wrong thing to do. Not only were you not paying things off in the fastest manner, you were also probably not saving as much on interest. So we have a mathematical solution that all you have to do is follow it, and you're guaranteed to be on the fastest path to eliminating debt and saving the most money that's possible for you in your own personal financial situation. It is customized to you. I mean, all of us, I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has gone and bought clothes off the rack. right? You go buy clothes off the rack or a dress off the rack. It's not necessarily going to fit you, right? You got to get stuff altered, get the shoulders taken up, this and the hemmed up your pants and all that, the waist taken in or taken out, and all that. It doesn't necessarily fit you. But, so you spend extra money in order to get it to fit you the way you want to. But for those of us who had the experience of going to a tailor and getting your measurements done, and when that suit or whatever that dress is created for you, it fits like a glove. Perfect. You don't have to worry about nothing. Not every curve is right, every space and every sleeve, and the length is right. Everything is perfect. That is what our system does. It's customized to you and your financial situation, and everything that it does fits like hand in glove. And all you have to do is follow it. And when you follow this system, you are guaranteed to be on the fastest route to eliminating debt and saving the most money. So, Bobby, I appreciate you sharing that, because you made some very good points about paying off stuff and still being able to save and do major other things that you want to do. Because a lot of times people think, well, what's the trade-off? I'm never going to be able to get my basement done. I'm never going to be able to get that pool created in my backyard. I'm never going to be able to get the car that I want, because I can't eliminate my debt and save for that at the same time. When the reality is you can, but you need a system that knows the math and can plot it out for you. And I tell you, once again, we have the solution for you. All you got to do is get with one of these folks on the Smart Money team and say, what is it? What is it that I need to do to see, will this work for me? And will it hurt? It's not going to hurt. Just take the time to do it. All right.
I'm going to add one more thing to this.
Go ahead, Renard.
Real quick. For
Sure.
those of you that, even in the situation of you want to, of course, eliminate your debt, what this program also allows you to do is, we know and we see a lot of different videos about credit. This program will actually undoubtedly help you with your credit score, because you're paying off your debt, you're making the timely payments, you bring it down the balance of your credit cards that you have, and instantly your scores go up. So with that, now you have the ability to do more things once you have more money to do those investments, to those other little small projects. If you have to go to the bank and borrow money that's more than what you have saved for, but your credit score now allows you to get that interest rate lowered down as well. So it's the small tangible things, not the intangible, but the tangible things that this program allows you to do as well. So with me, I have boosted over my credit score over 60, 70 points just in a year's time, and using this program to do other things that I would have never had the opportunity to do if I didn't come across this. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave that little small token with you as well.
Watch
Man,
out.
you just gonna leave, you gonna drop the mic like that.
You better slow down. I'm
always talk about
that again.
But credit is king. Having that FICO score that you need it to be when you need to go and get a bigger house if you choose to, or you go get a car that you want. Now you get this collection plate again. So I'm just saying, this allows you to do a lot more than what we even saying at this short juncture of time right now.
Man, look.
And Charles, look, what I like about what he just said, I mean, he really got me wanting to pass the collection plate again. But aside from that, is you can tell he's speaking from personal experience, and the passion he has in his voice tells you that this is not something he read about on the internet or Googled or somebody told him. This is him personally telling you what it's doing for him. And it's just the domino effect, right? You're paying off your debt faster, so your credit score goes up. So when you do apply for more credit, guess what? You're getting a lower interest rate, and even that interest rate, you're taking it down faster. So I mean, it's like you're just creating this wealth system. And I was talking to one of my clients last week. I didn't coin another phrase for the system, GPS system. I called it the PBS system. And no, I'm not talking about public broadcast services or whatever it's called. I'm talking about the push button system, because I love how you can go in there and you can map out where you want to be and you can dial it in. It's kind of like cooking, right? You know, when I get in the stove and I'm cooking me a piece of salmon, if I want it cooked real slow so it's moist and tender, I put it on like 325 for about 25 minutes or so. But you can cook it fast, 15 minutes at 400, and it's got a little char to it, but it's a little drier than you might like it. But you can dial the thing in, like Bobby Dale was talking about with his basement project. You can say save $100 or $200 a month for the basement project, and it may say it's going to take you 8 years to get out of debt. You may say, oh, wait a minute now, that's a little long. So you may say, okay, push that back to 150, so I'm out of debt in 7 years. And you can figure out for you, like you mentioned about this custom suits or dresses, what is optimal for you in your situation and where you're trying to get. And you can do all these different scenarios at the push of a button. I mean, just bing, 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 bing. But I'm gonna be quiet, man. We're gonna be on here all night. I'm gonna try to be quiet. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me, y'all.
Y'all are bringing the thunder tonight, and this is where I think the people need this. They need to understand this. And each one of you have brought something to the table tonight that I think everyone who watches this should somehow be able to relate to in one way or another, whether it's the fact that they have these debts, that they're paying interest, that they see real people, right, that have a solution and what that solution is doing for them. And all of you have made some fantastic points tonight. And I think this broadcast is really going to get a lot of folks' phones ringing, because people are going to know. They're going to know, what do I need to do to get that solution that you guys are talking about? What is that cutting edge technology that's going to help me save my money, pay off my debts, my mortgage, my student loan, my auto loan, credit cards, and be able to maybe do some special project around the house, whatever it is you might want to do. Retire earlier, invest, save, whatever. Okay. Having said that, it's been a great call. I want to close on this note for all of you out there who are saying, well, listen, I really think that I would like to be a part of what you guys are doing. I want to join that crusade. I want to bring this to my community, my friends, my family members. I want to help not only myself, but the folks around me, because we need that solution. If that's you, if that's been floating in your mind, no matter whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you out there in corporate America, or you are a professional in some other trade, whatever it is, if that has, our message has rung a bell with you and kind of pierced your soul, all you have to do is talk to one of us and say, where do I sign? What do I need to do? Especially if you are a veteran or you are a first responder, we've got really some special deals for you. Okay. Now, having said that, I'm gonna open this up one more time, just for some of the team here to tell you why not only they join the Smart Money team, but why you may want to join also. Who wants to start?
Well, I'll start. I joined, I purchased the program because logically it only made sense. The plan that I was working on was a 12 to 15 year plan, and to see something tell me that it can be done in 8 years, simple math is 8 is less than 15. So I made a simple decision and I, took that plunge. But as far as joining the team, once I saw in 3 months, just 3 months using the program, and here's what it really did for us. We had an unexpected expense. Our furnace and our AC unit went out on both the downstairs and the upstairs unit. That was an $18,000 hit. We depleted our savings to do a down payment. And when we actually started using the program, my savings was down to $300 or $400. Okay. And at that point, I was very uncomfortable being a homeowner. I was very uncomfortable with just $300 in savings. But in just 3 months of using the program, we had paid off $3,500 in debt. Credit card was eliminated in 3 months. And we had $6,000 in our savings account in 3 months. So once that happened, that's when I became a true believer, because, hey, I was very skeptical at first. Mm-hmm. I was very skeptical, and I was paying attention to the money back guarantee. Everything that was said, I was paying very close attention to it. But when that happened to me in 3 months, where I paid, understand, paid off $3,500 in debt, and took my savings account from $500 to $6,000 in 3 months. That's when I said, okay, I got to tell more people about this. And, you know, at the time I got in touch with Reynard and figured out what needed to be doing to join the team, and the rest is history. But that was my story, literally 3 months. $3,500 in debt eliminated, and I had saved over $5,500 back to my savings.
There you go. There you go.
With me, it's more or less of building wealth for my children. You know how each generation always wants to do more for the next generation. Your parents always want you to do better. And so me being a parent now, I want my children to have a foundation to whereas they know how to strategize, how to build wealth even at a young age and not get themselves in unwanted debt, because the system or the banking system has it to where you kind of slave to your debt, as we were talking about. And to me, that was the reason why I really joined, is because I want to leave that legacy for them, but also give them the blueprint going forward so that way they can do the same thing for their children.
Yep. That is a big one. Kendall, family is a big one. Building for your family. Anybody else? Why is the Smart Money Team a logical choice for those folks out there? Why? They want to know. Talk to me.
I wanted to share that I got started because I hate debt.
Mm-hmm.
I hate seeing people in debt when I know that we can help them get out. And I had the program for a number of years before we actually joined the team, but ran into Charles again at an event, and he was sharing with, well, I guess he and Lorenzo actually were sharing with Kendall about joining the team. And I was like, wait, you mean I can help other people get out of debt? Sign me up, man. Because I knew how hard I'd worked helping another elderly friend of ours get out of debt. Took me hours and hours and hours of figuring. And with this program, it's just bonk, 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 you know. So, and like Kendall said, we have 15 grandchildren now, and we want to set our kids and our grandkids up with a trust that they don't have to go to the bank. They can do it from grandma and grandpa's trust and do the same. They can still do the same thing with the program, because they're still going to pay some interest, because whatever they take out, they got to put back in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of what our goal is to establish that for our kids and our grandkids.
That is, I think, for a lot of people that are going to watch this, Beth, that's going to resonate, because if you are a parent or you are a grandparent, then you understand the future is about the children. It's about the kids. It's about that legacy that you're going to leave. And we have a choice. Believe it or not, we have a choice. We can leave, our family, our children, our grandchildren debt, or we can leave them with wealth. It's up to us. We have that choice. No matter where you started off in the playing field, you have the opportunity. If you're alive right now, breathing right now, you have the opportunity right now to set the course for your family for the next 15, 20 years, right? And if you've made debt elimination a part of that, with this system that we have is also going to be some super wealth building, okay? Super wealth building. But the other thing that I like Beth said, and I think this will probably summarize what everybody is probably thinking or will tell you, is that we all have a passion for helping somebody else, right? All of us do. If you are like that, we often say, and Lorenzo and I say this all the time on our Wednesday broadcast, is we have the answer to financial cancer, right? And everybody knows what the big C word means. We've probably all have been touched in some shape, form, or fashion with a family member or friend who has gone through that. We all have. I know we all have. Somewhere you have seen or been influenced or touched by that. And I will tell you that many of us out here are suffering from financial cancer. We've got debt. We're living paycheck to paycheck. We've got things that we're struggling with. Can't give to your church like you want to. You can't volunteer your time and do some of the mentorship that you want to do with kids and stuff like you want to because you're working so much to try to pay the debt off. You're suffering unnecessarily, right? But we got a cure. We have the answer to financial cancer. We have a cure for you. And anybody out there in their right mind who loves and has compassion for their fellow man, right? If you know you have the cure, you're not going to hold back from that. And that's what we're trying to tell you. We have a cure. We want to share it with you so you can stop that unnecessary suffering when it comes to your financial situation. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to go through this. You don't need to be mad. You don't need to be working at that job that you don't want to be, a part of, your boss treating you wrong and all that kind of stuff for the next 10, 15 years because you have to be there because you got this mortgage hanging over your head. Or your kid's about to go to college and you haven't saved for them and all that's hanging over your head, right? The student loan hanging over your head, right? When you can get the solution, get rid of all that stuff faster than you ever thought was possible. And now if you're working, it's not because you have to, it's because you want to, because you enjoy your job or you're passionate about being a nurse or a teacher or whatever the case may be. But anytime you feel like you might want to walk away, you can walk away because you have established yourself financially, because you've eliminated all the debt. There's nothing that you have to work for, right? Because the truth of the matter is, most of us, when we go to work every day, it's because we got that mortgage payment, or you got that car payment, or you got that student loan payment.
Bobby did like.
That's the only reason you're doing it. Think about it. If you didn't have that, how much more time would you be spending on the beach or vacation or doing some other things that you want to do in life? So that's what we're trying to tell you. All right. So having said that, I want to thank those of you on the team who have taken time out of your busy day today to join me and Lorenzo on our hangout tonight. We like to do this at least once a month at the very top of the month, just so that people can see what we've got going on, why they want to be a part of what we're doing, and the impact that you guys are having around the country. I'm talking East Coast to West Coast. We got folks on here from the Eastern Standard Time Zone all the way to the Pacific Standard Time Zone and everything in the middle, all right? And we aren't done yet. We're trying to get all across Hawaii and Alaska. We are going to have Smart Money team members in every state helping folks in their community get out of debt, because we care about each and every one of you out there that's watching this broadcast. So if you would like to become a member of our team, just get back with the person that's sharing this on their Facebook page or that's been talking to you from the Smart Money team and saying, hey, this is what has happened for me. This is what's doing for me. We want the same thing to happen to you. We've helped churches. We've helped pastors pay off buildings. We've helped commercial businesses pay off their offices and commercial property. We've helped homeowners. We've helped students pay off those student loans. Look, we are helping everybody that has debt in America. So if that's you, you like our cause, you like what we're doing, and you don't want to be giving your money unnecessarily to the bank, or you don't like seeing your fellow man give money unnecessarily to the bank, then join us. Help us get the word out there. It's just like, telling your friends and family about your favorite movie and why they should go see it, or your favorite restaurant and why they should go try that steak or try that particular restaurant because you like it, you know what it will do for you, and you're excited about it. That's how we are. We are passionate and excited about the fact that we are helping do our part with eliminating debt and poverty in America. But we can't do it without you. We need your help. We need you to help. And if the pandemic didn't wake up you to the madness of understanding that your job is here today, could be gone tomorrow. Your income is here today, could be gone tomorrow. Just talk to a lot of those people who are going through the food bread line trying to feed their family during the pandemic. And many of those folks, because I've been doing the volunteering out there a lot of times to help feed those individuals, were coming in there in cars that you would not believe. It wasn't the 1967 Studebaker that was driving in that line to get food. It were people in Mercedes and Lexus and Lincolns and Cadillacs waiting in the food bread line to try to feed their family. Now, why would people with that type of car be waiting in the food bread line? Because they didn't do what they needed to do financially. They were living paycheck to paycheck, and although on the outside they looked very good, on the inside, something wasn't right with their finances. And when you don't have the income coming in anymore because you haven't been doing what you need to do, and all of a sudden you got a mortgage, you've got car loans, and you don't know where the money's coming from, and now you got to try to figure out how to feed your family, that's not the ideal condition to be in. So if we haven't learned our lesson, which we've taken a year to learn, then there ain't nothing we can do for you if you haven't learned that lesson. But I believe personally that each and every one of us, when presented with the right information, will make better decisions. And that's what we're trying to tell you. We're putting this information in front of you. Let us see what we can do for you. And once you see what can be done for yourself, you will be like everyone here on this panel, to include myself. You're not only going to be so excited about it, you're not going to shut up. I mean, you're going to tell other people. And that's what we're trying to say. We want you to see what this will do for yourself. And then you're going to want to tell other people. And when you do, we will have a spot on the table for you where you're going to get quite a bit of income helping other people get out of debt. You can't beat that, folks. There's nothing else out there that I have ever been a part of, that I am super proud to be a part of, that I know has an impact from day one on that individual or his or her family. There's nothing out there. I've never seen anything like what we're doing. So will you join us? Will you be a part of what we have to offer? I hope so. Having said that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys again for being on the call tonight. I know we went over a little bit, but I think that the folks that are going to watch this broadcast, especially when you guys are sharing it on your Facebook page and all that, they are going to get something powerful out of this tonight. And so we are prepared for our messengers to blow up, and our phones to blow up, and our emails to blow up, hearing from you saying, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get that solution, that answer to my financial cancer? All right. Having said that, you guys have a wonderful rest of the night. We will see you again, me and Lorenzo, next Wednesday. But we want you to come back next month at the beginning of the month to see the whole team again, as we'll try to get even more folks on here to tell their story of why you should be a part of what we're doing. All right. So having said that, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you on the next Hangout next Wednesday. Take care and good night.